Something huge is going down in Beijing right now. And it's not just one thing. We're talking about a perfect storm of new hardware, intense competitions, and some really mind-bending AI. It's creating this robotics ecosystem that's just exploding, moving way faster than anyone thought possible. So let's break it down. And yeah, when we say invasion, we really mean it. You've got next-gen robots literally hitting the streets. There's a full-on robot Olympics that's just massive. The world's first ever robot dealerships are opening up. And maybe the wildest part? A total revolution in how the brains of these things are even made. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, the new hardware, the contender. Then, the arena where they duke it out. We'll hit the marketplace where you can actually buy them. Then we'll look at the genesis of their AI. And finally, we'll tie it all together in what we're calling the Beijing Nexus. All right, section 1, let's talk hardware. Because, a robot revolution, it needs a revolutionary robot, right? And a brand new contender just dropped. This one is built from the ground up for the people who really matter here, the developers. And here it is. Say hello to the Limex Oi. Now, this is not some clunky lab prototype. This is the real deal. It's the evolution of everything Limex Dynamics has been working on, a full-size humanoid platform that from day one was meant to be a super flexible, super powerful tool for coders and researchers to just go nuts with. So let's get into the specs, because this is where it gets interesting. It's about 5'5", so human-sized. But the big number here, 31 plus degrees of freedom. That's how many different ways its joints can move on their own. We're talking incredible flexibility, and that's before you even add hands. And look at this, fully modular, different additions. This tells you it's not just a single robot, it's a whole platform they're building. Okay, so this is why this is a huge deal for developers. That modular design, you can literally swap out hands and grippers whenever you want. The Open SDK gives you total joint-level control. I mean, every single tiny movement. That's absolutely crucial for any kind of fine-tuned work. Plus, it's got cloud APIs, over-the-air updates, and it's built to run LLMs right on board. This whole thing is engineered for one thing: speed, fast, constant development. This robot is designed to learn and learn fast. Okay, so you've got this awesome new hardware. What's next? Well, you gotta test it, right? You gotta push it. And that brings us to the arena. Beijing is throwing this absolutely massive, high-stakes competition to see what these new bots are really made of. Get ready for some numbers. 280. That's the number of teams from 16 different countries, all of them descending on Beijing for this huge global showdown. And check this out. They're competing in 538 different events. Think about that. The sheer density of competition is just staggering. And it's all designed for one purpose: to push these machines right to their breaking point and see what happens. Now, the main event, the one everyone's talking about, is a fully autonomous robot football match. They did a 3-on-3 test run that went well, so now they're scaling it up. A full 5-on-5 game in an Olympic venue. Just pause and think about how difficult that is. You have 10 robots on a field having to coordinate as a team with zero human control. It's an insane test of real-time, AI-driven swarm intelligence. And it's not just football, not by a long shot. You've got a 100-meter dash with 90 teams, a half-marathon showcase. And get this, freestyle combat that actually pairs Olympic medalists with robot squads. To handle all this, they've built brand new infrastructure, like the Panda Eye Stadium, which is literally the world's first professional arena built specifically for humanoid robot sports. So you have the cutting-edge hardware. You have the intense arena to test it. What's the last piece of the puzzle? The marketplace. This is where Beijing is really starting to pull away, pioneering the consumer side of things, taking these robots straight from the lab and putting them into a showroom. Yeah, this quote really nails it. The robotics world's answer to a car dealership. A brand new robot mall has opened in Beijing, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a place where anyone, businesses, regular consumers, can just walk in, test drive a robot, and buy it right there. This is a massive leap forward in making this tech accessible to everyone. And the money? Oh man, the money behind this is just mind-blowing. That single bar you see, that's over $20 billion in government subsidies in just the past year. And that's not even the big number. There are plans for an even bigger fund, over $1 trillion yuan. That's almost 140 billion US dollars. All of it is being poured into fuel this robotics explosion. So what can you actually buy there? Well, inside, you've got over 100 different types of robots for sale. I'm talking everything from mechanical butlers and robot dogs, all the way up to these unbelievably detailed humanoid replicas of, like, Albert Einstein. The prices go from a couple $100 all the way up to millions. And it really is like a car dealership. They have spare parts, maintenance plans, you can get hands-on demos. It's a complete full-service ecosystem. Okay, hardware? Check. Competition? Check. A marketplace to sell them? Check. But this next piece, this is the one that's honestly the most profound. It sounds like straight-up science fiction. We have to talk about how the brains of these robots are being created. So check this out. Researchers at the University of California had this wild idea. They took generative AI, tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, and basically told it to write all the flight control software for a drone from scratch. The core question was super simple. Can an AI with almost no human guidance build the entire brain for another machine? And the answer was a resounding yes. The AI generated all the code, and it did it in 3 perfectly logical layers. A lower brain for just the basic flying, an intermediate brain for live mapping and figuring out where it was, and a higher brain for making its own decisions and avoiding obstacles. It broke down the problem and structured the solution exactly like a human engineering team would. And here is the wow moment. The project lead figured that for a human team to build a system like this, it would take them about 4 years. The AI, it pumped out over 3,000 lines of code in 2.5 weeks. That is not a small improvement. That's a 20-fold speed up, 20 times faster. Just let that sink in for a second.
Now, a leap forward like that it's both incredibly exciting and honestly a little sobering. Fevi, the CEO of Geolava, put it perfectly. He said it's a fascinating step, but also one that screams for us to put some serious safety boundaries in place around this kind of self-accelerating technology. And he's right.
Okay, so let's pull back and connect all these dots. The hardware, the arena, the market, the AI that builds AI, these aren't just separate, interesting stories. They are all crucial parts of one single, powerful feedback loop, a brand new robotics ecosystem, and right now, Beijing is its center, its nexus. This is how the whole system feeds on itself. You get better, developer-ready hardware, which lets you build more advanced robots. You throw them into the competitive arena, which stress tests them and spits out tons of data. The marketplace creates the financial reason to build even more of them. And then, running underneath everything, you have this AI-driven R&D that cuts development time from years down to weeks, which just kicks the whole cycle off again. Only this time, it's way, way faster. And that brings us to the final critical question. Remember, none of this is a future prediction. This is happening right now, in 2025. So if AI can already build a robot's brain 20 times faster than a team of human experts today, what about next year? What does this exponential curve look like in 5 years? That is the new reality we all need to start wrapping our heads around.